Well, I'm at the Newfoundland Bronze Foundry with an update on a story that we brought you. I can't believe it, but it was 2 years ago that we spoke with Morgan MacDonald, who was actually looking at an interesting competitive process. It had to do with the rock band Rush. So, what's the news?
So the big news is that I've been selected to create a memorial for Neil Peart at Lakeside Park in the city of St. Catharines.
Would it be fair to say that you're a Rush fan?
Oh, that would be probably an understatement. It's for me, this is like a dream come true. To me, they're the quintessential progressive rock band in Canada. They're musical heroes, and to be doing something of this magnitude for somebody so iconic, such as Neil Peart, it's just surreal. I mean, this has been, this is my childhood listening to the band. My brother is a musician. Now we kind of tease each other back and forth because I'm a sculptor. He's more musically inclined. So it's pretty awesome to be able to share this commission with my brother, who's an amazingly huge Rush fan, and then to just be doing this. It's challenging because he is so well known. He's an iconic figure in the music industry. To do a younger version, there's a certain look, circa the 1970s, that you have to capture with his likeness, and if that's not captured correctly, it's probably the most challenging aspect of this commission is to create a likeness of him. But then moving towards the older version of him later in life, to change your mindset and the perspective to try to incorporate the same likeness, but at a more advanced age. That's a challenge for sure. Neil was remembered for having a kufi hat, which is a certain style of hat that he'd wear when he was drumming. One of the aspects with the older version of Neil is the idea that the suffering that he did for his art, and the time and the dedication that he spent doing this is that now he's at a time of rest, and so the significance is that when he's wearing his hat, he's at work, but now the hat is by his side, it's laid down, he can rest easy knowing that his job is done. And the component where he's holding the drumsticks in one hand, it's almost like a passing of the torch to the next generation, as an inspiration for new and upcoming drummers to take on the challenge to express their art. One of the things I discovered were that drummers, when they're drumming, and of course he's in a sitting pose. The elements of the sculpture is much like a throne, but then not being a drummer, I realized that's what drummers call the seat that they're sitting at when they're drumming is a drumming throne. So I thought that was kind of a cool connection there. But one of the albums that Rush is, it's one of their quintessential albums, Farewell to Kings. So there's a connection between the crown, King sits on a throne, so there's a thematic connection. But the guys were always giving each other nicknames, and Neil's nickname was Pratt. So this is some of the kind of the inside stuff that Rush fans are very familiar with.
How did you find out that you were the winner?
I received a phone call from a representative with the city of St. Catharines, and he said, amongst all the submissions, and so you got to put this in perspective, how many submissions across the country, and even from the United States that were submitted to this project for somebody of this stature, and he's there telling me on the phone, your submission was the highest ranked amongst the other ones. So there's this pause, this moment of silence on the phone, and it's like, I don't.
Did I get it?
Did I get this? I explain. I don't understand. So it's yeah, trying to have that sink in, and really realize the gravity and the magnitude of what he was telling me on the phone. It's like the icing on the cake. It's really a huge honor.
Well, listen, congratulations, and I guess we'll be able to see these in St. Catharines when end of Christmas, or
well, it's going to be a long process. I estimate minimum 2 years. These are the scope of the project that I'm undertaking here is quite involved. There's a lot of work to do this.
Well, listen, Morgan, congratulations once again, and thanks for inviting us here to the Foundry.
Thank you for coming.